everyone. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you my dahlias for this season, for this growing season. And I've been actually collecting these tubers over the last month or so, and I am super excited to get them started today. And before I pot them up, I wanted to share with you the varieties that I'm trying this season. Dahlias are wonderful summer blooming flowers, and they offer color right from when they start blooming all the way till frost. The only work that they need is deadheading. So the more you deadhead these flowers, the more they're going to keep blooming. There are many different varieties of dahlias, and although they are annuals, you could dig up the tubers and you could store them for the winter. In the past, I have stored some tubers, but I haven't been too successful with them. Sorry, I had a bit of an interruption. So I haven't been super successful in storing dahlia tubers in the past, and to be very honest, I haven't really grown dahlias for a long time. I only started growing them last year and the year before, so I bought a few of them just to try them out and to see what they were going to do in my garden, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And I need to kind of create a better system to store them. I need to have a spot to store them indoors because they are very frost sensitive. The tubers will rot, especially in the wet climate. As you can see, we have a very wet spring and a wet winter with all the snow. So these tubers, some people can leave them in the ground and mulch around them and try overwintering them, and I may have forgotten a couple of dahlias in my beds, and it'll be nice to see if they come back. But you know, for most part, the dahlias have to be dug, and especially if it's going to be wet and cold, because the tubers will rot almost like potatoes. So it's best to dig them up, let them dry, and then store them in a cool, dry place with enough humidity that they will not shrivel. So there's a few things that you need to store them, and this is something I might explore this fall to find a better system to store them. But regardless, I am excited to try their beauty. I think they are worth even growing as annuals. They are absolutely beautiful, and you get a lot of blooms from one plant. So it's really exciting, and especially if you like to cut flowers and bring them indoors or share your flowers, they are amazing because the bounty is they're quite bountiful. So I wanted to share with you today varieties that I am growing. It's a rainy day here, and I think it's a good time for me to pre-start these. So I'm going to start them in little containers indoors because we have about 6 weeks or so for our frost to end. So it's a good time to get them started. At least they will start to wake up, and then just in time when I see the sprouting is when I can then plant them outside and the danger of frost has passed. So let me share with you, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Preeti. I garden in Zone 6 in Toronto, and I try to post all things gardening, and especially active during my gardening season, so I can show you my garden and what's blooming. So here are the beautiful varieties that I am planting this season. This is Bishop of Landalf. This is beautiful single bloom which I planted last year, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was so gorgeous and so abundant and so beautiful in the garden. So I will be planting this one again. I have 2 tubers of this one, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the stunning red color and the beautiful vibrant color it offers in the garden. And it's also a bonus because this one has really nice dark foliage which actually looks really nice against the contrast of red and yellow. So it's beautiful. And then the other variety that I am planting is the Bishop of Oxford. So this is a variety that I haven't tried before. It is also a dark foliage single bloom, and it's got this peony flowering bloom, and it's beautiful orange color. I'll be very curious to see if this is going to be just as vibrant as this packet or is going to be lighter. It'll be a nice flower as well. And I think it's going to also look stunning. And these single flowers are especially attractive to pollinators and really, really pretty in the garden. And these don't grow that tall. I think last year they were about 2 feet tall for me. And then the other variety that I'm planting is called Liquid Desire. So this is a minion dahlia, and it has, again, beautiful two-tone colored blooms with a dark pink and light pink and a nice yellow center. And these are also open blooms, and these are more shorter, so somewhere in the front of the border would be really lovely with these. So the other varieties, so these are just two more of the Oxford and Bishop of Landalf. So I will put those aside. And look at this beautiful one. So this one is Cafe au Lait. So Cafe au Lait is a very popular dahlia. It's a dinner plate dahlia and it's gorgeous. So this one will get 9-inch blooms and it will get about 4 to 5 feet tall. So this is absolutely beautiful, and I was able to find this Cafe au Lait in this rose color. It has a beautiful pink color with a little bit of a purple hint from what I'm seeing in this packet. It'll be exciting to see when it blooms and what this looks like. So this is the Cafe au Lait rose. I have 2 of these, and I also have 2 of these beautiful Labyrinth dahlia. So this one is also a 9-inch, actually an 8-inch blooms, a little bit smaller than the Cafe au Lait, but regardless it looks gorgeous. And this is a giant dinner plate dahlia as well. I love these colors and I think they will look stunning in the garden. So I have 2 of these as well. And then I have a whole, so these are some dahlias that I was able to buy at Costco, and they're, I think, a great value as well. I have a whole pack of the regular Cafe au Lait dahlia. So these are the almost like the creamy white. Sometimes they can be a pinky purple as well, depending on your light. So this is the regular Cafe au Lait dahlia, and there are about 7 tubers in this packet, which was really good value for the price that I paid for it. So this is another pack that I will be trying. And then there is 2 of these packs which says dinner plate assorted. It doesn't have names, and I'll be curious when I open it if they are named. But these are all the stunning colors in this pack. There is a yellow one, there is a pink one, there is a really nice dark one, and then there are 2 other lighter pink ones and 1 more white with a little purple edging. And then this one is more of this pink and purple with yellow center. So they are just gorgeous as well. And then I have a pack of decorative dahlias. So these are more of the smaller dahlias, and it says it's assorted. So the colors could range from what you see on this picture. There is those bright salmon color, there is orange, there is pink, there is 2 tones, there's white. So it's always exciting when you plant something assorted to be surprised by when it blooms and what the blooms are going to look like. So very excited to see what this is going to look like. So here is my range of dahlias that I have today that I will be planting. Lots and lots of new varieties for me to try, and I'm excited to actually get them started. I'm going to pot them up and show you as I'm potting them up. I will be finding a spot indoors to keep them while they sprout, and hopefully in about 6 weeks or so I'll be able to plant them outside. So really excited to share these with you and see them bloom this summer. So let me get some pots ready and some soil, and I'm going to pot these up and I'll show you along the way. So I have some pots here that I will be using, and as you can see, I'm not using very big pots because these are just to get these dahlias to wake up and break dormancy. They are not going to be growing in these pots. I just want to get them started so that they can start to sprout. So I have filled up these 2 pots with regular potting soil, and I'm going to be planting these Labyrinth tubers in there just to get them started. And let me open up these packets and I'll show you what these tubers look like. So this is what the dahlia tuber looks like, and if you look at this, this is what you're looking for, make sure that the tuber is nice and firm and it doesn't feel squishy or soft or rotting. And this is where, if you take a look at it, this is where the stem was from last season that was cut back before this tuber was stored. So you would be planting it this stem facing up. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just putting this within this container, making sure the roots are in, and then I will be lightly covering it with some more soil. And if you see, I'm not going to be wasting too much soil doing this. I'm just going to only cover it a little bit so that it has a chance to start to wake up and sprout. And you don't even have to water it a lot at this point. You're just giving it some dirt and a little bit of light misting just to make sure that it is not going to rot in it. And as you start to see some signs of growth is when you would start to really, you know, give it some light and start watering it. So it can actually go in a corner somewhere where it gets indirect light in the beginning, and when you start seeing it sprout, that's when you should be moving it towards brighter light and start watering it more regularly. So this is what I'm going to be doing to all of my tubers, and I'm actually just going to use this this package that it came in to market. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Like, it's not and if you can create tags for it if you want, but I'm just going to do something makeshift just to get them to sprout, and that's what I'm trying to do today. So I'm going to get them all planted in the same way. And if you are pre-sprouting dahlia tubers, now is a good time, 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date, and you can have dahlias to start blooming a little bit earlier, or you can plant them directly outdoors when the weather warms up and there is no danger of frost. So there's a couple of options to plant these tubers. So I'm going to get these started and I will show you when I'm all done. So here it is. They're all planted in these little pots, and some of them I was able to double up. Like this one just had broken pieces in there, so I was able to put a couple in a pot. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was the quality of these tubers from Costco wasn't really that good. A lot of them looked like they were shriveled or rotting, so I only potted up the cafe au lait. I am actually thinking of returning these 2 bags because I feel like the quality isn't that great, and I might get a couple, and I also don't know the names of a lot of them, so I think it'll be better to buy a couple more of the ones that I really want to grow, that I know are good. So I'm going to do that instead. But for now, as you can see, I've potted up my Labyrinth and my cafe au lait rose, as well as my Bishop's dahlias, as well as I've potted up the good ones from the cafe au lait bag. There was some that weren't that good, so I don't really know how they're gonna do, but there are some that was sprouting already. As you can see, this one is sprouting already, so I'm excited actually to get these in the pot and started, and I will return these other 2 and maybe pick up something else instead. And I just wanted to share with you what I was doing with these dahlias today and share with you the ones that I'm planning to grow. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video about dahlias, and if you're growing dahlias in your garden this season, do let me know in comments below. Do you start them indoors or do you plant them directly after frost? I like to start them indoors. That's what I did last year and the year before, and they worked out really well for me. And I'm going to do the same this year. The year before last, I started them really early, like in March, and they grew so big indoors and it was hard to manage them inside. So this year I took my time and I'm starting them. Today is the last day of March, so it's they have all of April to sprout, and by mid-May I think I should be able to plant them outside. So with that, I wanted to end this video, and thank you so much for joining me today and brightening my day with some dahlias here. And I hope you guys are having a fabulous gardening day wherever you're joining me from, and I'll catch you in my next video.